Hello, mgtows. Go your own way. Go your own way. All your Simpsons are forgiven. uh, yeah, today we wanted to talk about male suffering, and I wanted to do it through the eyes of an alien. Uh, I have a short story that I wanted to tell, and imagine. Let me check out my story that I wanted to tell, and there we go. That sounds good. Sounds good. Everything sounds good. If the sound is off, just let us know and we'll correct it. Uh, I was sneezing when I came up here. I just couldn't stop. I was like, what? Something had gotten into my nose, and I don't know. Sometimes you're just walking, and pollens are transposons too. But if you got my okay, let's get into it from an alien point of view. And sometimes you have to look at mgtow. Sometimes we say we're sitting on the mgtow bench watching this world that looks absurd. And how do you explain that? How do you do this? How do you look at, say, if there was life on a different planet? We went to a different planet. We were sitting there looking at these creatures, and the creatures were similar but slight differences, and they had made a society around themselves and everything. You would let's just give them some names, and we'll call them. We'll call the one creature a Zertite, and we'll call the other creature an Aphrodite, a Zertite and Aphrodite, and then they have there's cogs, and then we'll get into the cogs, and then there's this Zerg thing. We'll get into all that stuff. The cogs, the Aphrodites are. What happens is in this on this world in caveman days, the Aphrodites would have to go up to the Zertites and shake them, and then a cog would fall out of them, and then that was the baby, and it would grow into an Aphrodite or a Zertite. But over the time, they progressed in this social environment, and they got laws. Laws are great for. They got religious laws, and I know you love it, huh, Joey? Religious laws on this alien planet, and you're looking at these creatures, and one of the things is the Zertites. They live on one side of the street, and the Aphrodites live on the other. We'll just make that a social concept, and the Aphrodites got to go over and. They got to go every morning to the Zertites and tie their shoes, because the Zertites don't know how to tie their shoes. They don't know how to do construction, and they don't know how to paint their walls. They don't know how to build houses. They can't tie their shoes, but they have one ability. They make a Zog. And they've learned that if they just shake themselves, they can make a Zog, and then that takes care of it. But they hold it, and then they hold the Zog for ransom, and they make the Aphrodites pay for it. And so every morning, then they've made these laws. You have to take care of the Zertites, and you have to. And then now it was go over to tie their shoes, and now all of a sudden it's take their garbage out, and then you got to build things for them, and then you have to give them money, and then now in law you have to do all these things for them just so you can get a Zog. And you're looking at this thing, and then out of this thing comes. This Aphrodite group of dudes that say, this is crazy. Why do we have to be the slaves to them? Why don't we just, what would the questions be there? We don't want to be slaves to these. We don't want to have to do the work. We don't want to have to, you're looking at this from an alien view, and then the Aphrodites are saying, we don't have to do this work. There's one guy, he starts it, and he goes, I don't want to do this no more. I just won't have a Zog. I'm a cog. We're not gonna produce this cog, and then they all start yelling at him, and they said, "We have to." And then he starts a group, and the group gives up, and then he says, "You know what we should do is we should go back to the way it used to be, when you just run up to them and you shake them, the old way. You know, it sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?" And the appetite group are arguing, and one said, no, you just can't run up to someone and shake them and shake a cog out of them, and that's wrong. We have to figure out a better way. What's the better way? What would be the better way between these two people, these two peoples that have to get along? And then it's like the mgtow way would be like, okay, we have to to reproduce and do our race, we have to do this. But should we be slaves to that? And then it becomes clear what we're talking about, because this resembles the human race so much, doesn't it?
Yeah, the absurdity, you mean?
The absurdity of what they have to go through. And now, couldn't they? What are the other things I would say? Well, imagine there was this thing in there where you become a Zerg, and Zerg is synonym for in Mars language for father. And they said all your everything you are will come through becoming this father, and then you could be a good slave and do all that stuff, and then you get the title, the honorable title of father, and that's all you get out of it. And then you realize that father is a made up social construct, but over 100,000 years here, that's how they these aliens constructed their social society about it. So they said, they made laws. Well, you can't shake the Zaphrodites. You can't shake to shake a zog out of them, and you can't do this. You have to tie their shoes in the morning because they can't tie their shoes. You got to go over there to do that. But on the way out, why don't you paint the house, or your work's going to be to build houses for them, and your work's going to be for make these cities to make it more comfortable, and build washing machines and everything, and make everything more comfortable for them, just so you can have a little zog. And then they think, well, that's absurd. What, isn't there a better way to do this? And isn't that what mgtow's asking? Isn't that what, if there was an alien sitting at the top of this planet looking down at us, he would be like, no, the Aphrodite have to do work for the Azertites, and look what they put themselves through. And it's total male. They're totally suffering just so they can get this title of Zog.
Yeah, or father.
Zerg. And then you realize what fatherhood is through this story. What is fatherhood? It's a made up social construct.
Slavery.
What's that?
Yeah.
And how much men will suffer for that? How much men will to obtain the privilege of being called a father, and that fulfills you, because we've been genetically or socially subjected to this for like 100,000 years. So that's your purpose on life. But some of us are starting to complain.
Yeah, you get shamed for that.
And you get shamed for that. And there's a whole lot of suffering in that thing. But the male suffering will just change the words back to the Aphrodite are the men, and the Zertites are the women, and the little cogs are the little babies. But men have to have this. When you make an argument, when you can see this argument within the men's group, some want to go back to just shaking them.
Yeah.
No, we can't go back to that, and that's traditionalism. The tradition states that we just go back, and then somehow these women are going to they're just going to like, oh, I'm so glad that you're taking care of me in your home, but that precedes that you will be taking care of them. So what really changed? Nothing really changed. You didn't change this horrible barbaric thing that half a race was turned into slaves and bondage. But that's the argument I see play out in front of me when I think about humans, when I think about how we act, and the fatherhood thing. And it's like, ooh, you could be a father, and you can get duties. Ooh, don't you want them, Joe?
Don't you want the stress?
Yeah, don't you want that? Don't you want that stress? Don't you want that suffering? Don't you want to have like this other race that's on this planet with us that takes no accountability or responsibility for their body of functions and everything they do, and then they'll lie to you. They'll say, well, you put a seed into her. And you know how stupid that sounds to me? It's like I hear that all the time. Like, well, you hear judges and you hear our court system repeating that lie. You put a seed into her. You did that. No, she opened up to it. You don't have seeds. You have transposons. Transposons are DNA. DNA. They adjust DNA just like pollen. That's all you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that does it for a reason. Otherwise, she gets two signets, and those two signets separate. And if it wasn't for that transposon, which is sperm or pollen or something like that, you would have a duplicate copy of her. So nature has said, well, we do this transposon, and that makes you not a single cell of that baby is yours from genetic material. It's a duplicate. It's a copy that's been rearranged to look like you. It's a photograph, and then all the other signets around in that when it splits, and then it splits again. There's other signets in there. They're called signets, and then they take on the DNA of the transposon.
Mm.
And that's the way the world works. It doesn't work like they're not intertraining and then and having beautiful love.
Yeah, I seen a couple today. They were like a little too close to each other at the Buffalo.
Yeah, they get a little too close. They're stuck into the bacterial world of
right.
symbiosis. That's the symbiosis that happens. Some symbiosis when two animals need each other to exist. Some symbiosis is what you call aggressive mimicry, and she's like she's inserting certain chemicals into your body. She's making you drunk, and then he's like, "I love you." It's the hormones and the cuddle drugs and the cuddle oxytocins and
it's really weird. Yeah, it's really strange.
So it's really strange. If you were looking at this from an alien view, what would you think?
Yeah, I think it'd be weird because he's like all over, like for a good hour. I was there for about an hour, and they were on the same side of the booth, and they were just like on top of each other.
They were all on top of each other, and you were just sitting there, and that's what you feel like.
I'm just trying to eat my food. Yeah,
I feel like sometimes that's really inappropriate. Like, don't do that in restaurants, and don't. But they won't. They're just, you can see the chemicals working.
Right.
Ooh, and they got to touch, and you could do that in like 15 minutes and go get a motel.
Yeah.
And we humans, I mean, we're subject to this. This I don't even know if it's it's just we're subject to evolution and biological evolution and everything. But man, when it comes to when it comes to like tech stuff and everything, we're great at that. When it comes to figuring out our sexual biological functions, we suck at that, and we're not allowed to say the truth.
Right.
But that's what you get in these things.
What was it 3 times more powerful than heroin? Is it 10 or 3 times more powerful than heroin?
Oxytocin is 10 times more powerful than heroin. You got vasopressin, which affects the way you socially. You want to be in social situations when your vasopressin comes on, then the oxytocin, and then there's the dopamine levels are rise in anticipation of this event. And dopamine, when you start looking at what dopamine does, the anticipation of the event, your dopamines rise. Once the event happens, you know what happens to the dopamine levels?
They go down. Right?
They go down, and then you anticipate the event again, and your dopamine levels start rising. And you have the feel-good drugs that are all in there, and each one of these things have a different function. Even like I was talking about with potassium, your potassium levels and your calcium levels, how they work in your brain, and they send signals and everything, and it's we could do the research, we can see what happens, we can do We can do MRIs and dichotomies of the brains. We can see what's happening electrically in the brain when these things happen and everything. But then they still lie to children about sexual biology. And it's like, ooh, Cupid shoots him in the heart. That other heart, the other heart next to your real heart.
Yeah.
When really that feeling that you get is when bacteria collects on your heart.
Yeah, right.
Not a good thing. It produces immediate stress, and then you have a sinking feeling like, oh, that's what you're thinking is love is. Right. And it's all because the female carries, and I'm not allowed to say like 3 times more bacteria than the male, and then or you're introducing other bacteria from another human. Of course, you're going to collect that on your heart. Everybody knows that.
Right.
Except with love, it's Cupid, and there's an arrow, and there's this magic link between people.
Right, just not really.
Yeah.
Right. And one the flesh, 2 flesh become one. That's Christianity.
Yes, 2 flesh we become. You're my, you fulfill me. What do you say?
Very McGuire.
You make me. You're it, and now I'm complete. It's like that is stupid.
Right.
And all we really need through this thing is females to, in a story, it's they can't tie their shoes. We need you to take responsibility for your own body. Right. Your body does that. My body, I can't have a baby. I can provide DNA, but that doesn't make me responsible for lifetime for what your body does. How does that make you responsible for a lifetime? Well, that's the idea that you put a seed in her, which is totally incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more garbage. It's like Adam and Eve, and he took a rib. And then, well, no, if you know biology well enough, you know that men and women's ribs are exactly the freaking same. It was some religious lie that was told. How many kids did you grow up with that thought that men have one less rib?
All of them.
All of them. In my generation, too, I remember a kid asking me that wasn't a Christian, hey, Joe, you think, and me repeating that lie that I was told.
Yeah.
And you don't believe it, go type in Darwin's rib and read about the research, and then it'll explain things. But what other things do we tell? There's Cupid that shoots you with an arrow. You have one less rib. Your heart is like there's another heart sitting next to your one heart. It's like bullshit. I call bull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these things should be known by bright, intelligent people.
Yeah, there's not a lot of smart people out there.
There's not a lot of smart people out there. That's man, sometimes I feel like an alien when I'm sitting on the mgtow bench, and like you said, I'm watching this stuff go on. I feel like an alien on my own planet. Just because I'm smarter, I might as well have big eyes and a curvature on my head and have gray skin.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will ostracize you for saying things like that. And it's like what we really want is we don't want to be slaves anymore. We don't want to have that symbiotic relationship where what MGTOWs are saying is we don't want to have the symbiotic relationship where it becomes self-serving to the Zertites.
Yeah.
Now, if you go and tell that story to yourself later in silence, especially these guys come on and they tell that story to themselves later, and you go, whoa, that's exactly what happens to humans. Sounds a lot like our race, the absurdity of our race. And then when I get these arguments from the men's rights groups, like, we're going to go back to the 50s. Ooh, that'll do it. We'll just be able to shake them. And a baby will fall out.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And then we got the other half of men's rights that so believe in fatherhood that it's needed. Now, let me explain something about it's needed. It may be needed that a male is around. I'll agree with that. But need doesn't make me a slave. It doesn't preclude my slavery. You don't take what you need in this world.
Mhm.
Need doesn't. Yeah, I need food. I need water. I need shelter where I live. But short of that, I don't need to be a father. And only one that needs a father would be a parent. Would be a child, right? So who we talk about it all the time that that being a father, you get parentage of the other. That's what it's about. It's about parentage. What's the Schopenhauer? We become parents to these things.
Yeah.
And they're children to us. But nowadays, who's running the show? The children are running the show. If you're that alien going, why are the children running the show? The ones that are under parentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Maslow says, Forrest still wants us to do Maslow. Maslow says we need a sense of belonging. Yeah, we need. It's not. No, it's not a need. When we look at Maslow, is a sense of belonging, and is that a imperative? No, it's nice. It's a nice thing to have social contact. And it's a nicer thing to have close social contact when your vasopressions are dripping out of your brain. So we see how these things get corrupted, and we see how these things. It's Maslow's hierarchy is just is the biggest joke there is. You don't need to have that. You need food, water, and shelter. What else do you need? You need air. Air is free. For the time being, air is free.
Oh yeah, they're gonna price that. Yeah.
Yeah, until they put on carbon taxes on it, and then air is not free no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can clean up their problem. We can pay them. We can pay our self-serving government to give themselves a raise and pretend like they're cleaning it up.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about this, when I think about the mgtow, we already pay taxes. Okay, we pay taxes. We're altruistic. Men are altruistic, and we want the government to. We want the government to take the Zyrtex and the cogs and the females and children, and if she can't tie her shoes, then you put her in a position where she can have things taken care of. That's why we give that money. Can you think of any other what reason we give that money? So we can go have wars, so we can rebuild other nations? No, that's stupid. So we can fly around in $1 billion jets? It doesn't make no sense. No, we give that money so two things are taken care of. The females, and I don't want to hear no argument from these idiots. We give the altruistic money as developed by taxes through our government to take care of two things: women and children. And then they take that money and spend it on themselves.
Yeah.
Our self-serving government takes that and spends it on themselves. Everything else can be applied by the labor of men and what they want to do.
Yeah.
But men suffer so much for that. They volunteer for those things. You see when they're drugged, when they're under the influence of hormones,
Sure.
they'll do anything. They'll cut themselves. If a woman asks a man, "Oh, can you just cut yourself to prove you love me?" He will.
Wow. Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, Romeo.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. Stories like that.
We'll both take the poison.
Yeah, that's great, huh? Young people taking poison. I told you that story.
Because they're so infatuated. They're so on that drug.
That's a woman. My brother used to work with this lady. She her son was like 18. He killed himself. He had a girlfriend, first girlfriend. They broke up. Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The first So it was his first girlfriend, I think, and they were dated like a year or two or something. And then he killed himself when they broke up. That had to be a chemical like withdrawal, right?
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of there's chemical withdrawal, and that's addiction. When you go through separation anxiety, most people, you can't tell that to the kids that after you meet your first girlfriend and she abruptly leaves you for Chad, you're going to go through a withdrawal. We all know it happens. We go through this huge withdrawal. What does that feel like? You've done it. I've done it.
Yeah.
It feels like withdrawal.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely get that. What's it called? One-itis or something like that?
Yeah, you get one-itis. You get, I have to have her back. No, you don't. What you really need to do in that situation is just go find another one. And then your addiction will be fulfilled. But the smart thing to do as a mgtow is I'm trying out something new too. I used to give the idea of walnut oil and wormwood, which is good. So it's really good to take that to bring you off of those bacterial withdrawal system. That it gets everything cleaned up and everything. But I was trying oregano oil, which is a really potent. It's supposed to be a really potent antibacterial. So I was trying to monitor myself. I'm on the 3rd day of it, and I was going to do 12 days, and then kind of look around and kind of decipher how I feel, how I see the world. Because in this world, you're going to get those bacteria anyways, and they're going to start collecting, and then you're going to start thinking funny thoughts. And scientists nowadays will flat out tell you, endocrinologists, not bio, neuroendocrinologists will tell you bacteria has a bad influence on our brain, but they won't quite say the bacteria you get from females as a horrible. It makes you a zombie.
Yeah, you don't hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, but during your lifetime, you will get bacteria in you, and it will have an influence on how you think. You have to get rid of that. You have to figure out how to, back in the old days, we'd just be walking through the woods, and we'd be like, "Ooh, look, garlic," and we pull up some garlic and munch on it, or some onion and munch on it, and that's natural antibiotics. But we've so screwed up that system with penicillin and them things that we become resistant to them.
Yeah. Can mold cause depression?
Yes, mold, black mold, and some types of other kinds of mold. There's a lot of different types of mold. I've never known. You know what? They say penicillic mold, which we get up in the north here, because black mold can't grow up here. It's one of the biggest fallacies there is. Black mold needs a spore in warm temperatures to grow. Black mold is really toxic. There's several different kinds of mold, and it does the same thing. It's a toxin that gets in your body, and it may cause major depression. It may cause a lot of different kinds of symptoms in your kidneys and your liver and your stomach lining and stuff like that. You dehydrate, and mold is pretty toxic.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you definitely don't hear this on any. We got 7 people watching. It must be the 7 smartest people on the planet.
Yeah. No, nobody wants it, and that's the thing about mgtow now. How mgtow has died off in intelligence. They don't want to talk about the biological functions of the human because. Well, like I said earlier in this thing, humans suck at talking about their sexual biology. Humans, really, we are the worst species on that. You can't say that. Even though we know these things are true, but and back in the day, we didn't know that these things were true. We were struggling with what happens to when you meet a girl and your heart feels, it must be love. And then we didn't know that the bacteria stick on the cell on the valves, and we didn't know that it causes problem when you introduce bacteria, which are pheromones. what are pheromones? Pheromones are dead bacteria. We didn't know we were supposed to, you know, interact with the other species like that. We've developed some really bad habits as humans where we touch each other and we get way too close.
I thought that she was my destiny, Joe. Like Marty McFly.
My
I'm
destiny.
I'm back to the future.
Yeah, you know, if I just wrap myself around her and then like we become one. That's the way they think. My brother used to say, you know, he's looking at her like he would cut her skin off and wear it as a coat.
Yeah, you're my destiny.
Yeah, my son used to look at there's a couple women around the neighborhood when I go into the certain places that I go. I don't want to talk about. There was always this one lady that was really nice to me and everything. And I come out one day and my son says, you know, she looks like she would just eat you.
Yeah.
She looks at you like she'd eat you.
Oh yeah, I've run into women like that.
Yeah,
it's just so nasty. I mean,
it's like it's like it's kind of uncomfortable, but you know, it's just what you have to put up with as a mgtow on this planet. And I said, I know. I just try to be nice to her so I don't hurt her feelings. And then if I make a girl unhappy, they want to put me in jail and rape me.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I don't want to be raped. That Christian retributive justice, where if you make a girl unhappy, they put you in jail and rape you.
Yeah. You need to be more like Jesus, Joe.
Yeah, because I need to be more like Jesus. And what would Jesus do?
Yeah. Well, hopefully things are changing. We're replacing it with Hoka. What would Hoka do? WWE.
Yeah.
What would Hoka do?
Yeah, .com. What would Hoka do? That's what we should just start I always thought that the story about the aliens would make a pretty good website. And then we sit there and talk about it, knowing we're talking about ourselves, because it would give us that out. That because humans are really uncomfortable talking about their biological functions, so we just talk about like apridites and zertites and cogs, and we just give them different names, and then we can get down to saying the truth, because it's a different species, but we know it's us.
Yeah, it's incredible. 10 times. That's amazing. I mean, think about heroin. Like I took, like when I couldn't walk for 4 days, they gave me oxycodone for a couple weeks, and I'm not dependent. I wasn't dependent on it, but it did help me sleep, and I could see why someone would get addicted. But you have something that's 10 times more addictive, and that a female gives off. I mean, it's like shit. No wonder why these two goofballs at the Buffalo Wild Wings can keep their hands off each other for an hour.
Right. And they're just like cringy to you, and it's like
very cringy. Yes, I'm just trying to eat my wings here.
I want to get my wings. I don't want a side show.
$50 for $5 for fries too. By the way, Joe, I got mozzarella.
You told me that $5
mozzarella sticks. Yeah, $11 for mozzarella sticks, $5 for fries, $22 for 15 wings. I get a $50 bill after tax. I'm like, wow, I got to reevaluate here what I'm doing going to this place, but maybe just order the wings only next time.
Yeah, they do a la carte too.
They got me good today. They're not
going to give you like the wings and some fries on the side for free and a Coke.
Yeah,
it's like $6 for a Coke and $5 for
Yeah. So they got me up in Pasadena, but I don't care. Whatever. You know what? Once in a while, but that's just way too. I mean, I was thinking, man, I should have just got 3 tacos for like $6.
Yeah.
You know,
always look at the prices or something. I like to go to Buca de Pepe, and they do that a la carte, and you can run up like $100 bill in that place. Really best. But they do have the best. As for Italian food goes, that's really close to like going over your buddy's house, and he has an Italian mother and she cooks.
The Boca de Pepo.
Boca de Pepo, yeah.
No, they got pretty good food actually. Yeah, that's not bad.
They got really good food. I think it's one of the best Italian places, and
better than Olive Garden, that's for sure. Olive Garden doesn't even count.
Yeah, Olive Garden, like you could just eat all the bread you want, and then like girls that like just broke up with their
Yeah.
boyfriend is just sitting there eating bread. It's like, I'm just gonna eat bread and screw the carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Because they've been starving themselves, for when they're in a relationship, they starve themselves. So it's like now that they break up, but you can go to what was that, Paninis too. It's like, go to any Paninis and you're gonna see like 6 women in there that are just, I'm just eating bread.
Yeah. It's funny how the culture's changed, though. The attitudes about bread and carbs and
Yeah, carbs and
all this
bread.
kind of stuff. They make such a big deal out of it. I mean, I guess it's not good to moderation. I guess you don't want to go crazy with bread, but
Yeah, I looked in my fridge the other day and I ran out of meat because I didn't go meat shopping. So I was like looking and I was like, man, I have way too many carbs. I had rice and noodles and sugar. And I looked in a cabinet and it was like, that's all there is in there. And there's no vegetables to be spotted.
yeah. I used to love it. I just have steaks, when I was
Yeah. So I went out, I bought like 3
Yeah.
big packs of chicken. And chicken, I just eat the breast. It's so convenient.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. You just take a chicken breast and you cut it in half and do the butterfly thing. And then I made pesto this week too. My basil came up, and I have so much basil, Joey.
Oh, yeah.
So I ordered pine nuts at $26 a pound, and I made pesto. And you see cheese, you put the cheese and the olive oil in, and you make the green sauce. And then I made pesto chicken and pesto noodles, and that's what I've been eating. You just butterfly those and pound them with the pesto on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's delicious! And it takes 15 minutes to fry them up and make yourself either a sandwich or something. It's like that's beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not a lot of people have this information. This is like really advanced kind of stuff because it's biology.
Right? Yeah, it's basic biology that most doctors won't say it like I say it. They don't have the courage to tell people the truth, and that's what bothers me. You got guys like Sapolsky, and you got guys like Jordan Peterson that are supposed to be the doctors, and they're supposed to know about these things, and they don't say the truth. They balk to traditional, like, oh, we don't want to make the girls unhappy by telling the men the truth.
Right.
And they'll balk back conservatively on their. Sapolsky says he gives himself out to be like a liberal, like he's like the top of the line intelligent guy, but even he is very intelligent. I won't say he's not. He's got a lot of good ideas, but as soon as it comes to that gender dynamics thing, oh yeah, he goes back to conservatism real fast. And he seems to forget about what the brain does.
You think he knows? He just doesn't say it, or what do you think?
He's just not allowed to say it, and he knows, he's smart enough to know that in his academic setting, that if he said that he would be ostracized by the group.
Oh yeah, sure.
He knows that because that's what the group does. That's the Christian group. If you don't show group loyalty, and loyalty is morality.
Yeah.
And he taught me that.
Yeah.
So he's an atheist, and he breaches a few things, and he talks about the loyalty is morality in a Christian group thing. And I think that's the biggest thing you have to learn about those things. The biggest thing you could do wrong is not be loyal to the group, because that's their morality.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things come from that. A lot of our laws come from that, the Christian laws, and we're not allowed to, but with the females, it's making a female unhappy. You can't do that because you're that'll be considered a social violation.
Yeah. Well, they really did it. They really did an unbelievable con job on these Christians. How they want you to think they're the because they put it in there that they're being one person.
Oh yeah, they're being so victimized. They're the victimizer. Most people do that, and then they all like, who's the biggest victimized? We're victimized.
Right.
Like 911, we're victimized. If we just keep our troops over here, and then start taking care of our people and take care of if we started taking care of them, the baby mamas and the dogs and the cogs and the little kids, that we wouldn't have to worry about nothing, and there wouldn't be a reason. We just protect our own shores, and we just do it. What protecting your own shores is in America. Every one of us got a gun. Yeah, somebody try to march in America when everybody here has a gun. It's not a good idea.
No, no, that's why they don't mess around. They want to quiet.
Yeah,
overtake.
Yeah, if you want to run around in the woods trying to catch an American hillbilly in woods like back there,
yeah,
and not get shot, that would be impossible. You have no clue what you're going into.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I know who I'll bet on in that situation. Those hillbillies they're tough, man.
That's what I would grew up a young hillbilly, man. I could run through the woods. It's like you wouldn't even hear me coming. And basically that's why the Army loved me so much. You can't even hear me coming. I can blend in so well.
Who knows what we're gonna do? Who knows? Brissy Boy's in town. There he is.
Yeah, there's Brissy Boy. Who else is in? Eric's in today too. Eric and
special guest from the
Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Jigsaw's in. Who else is in? All our favorite people. Forrest is in, and Claire's in. But thanks a lot for coming around, guys. We get a pretty, I don't know what my group or the group here, they accept, the truth of the matter, and the rest of the mgtows are out trying to, slay women, get six packs, and it's just like we're gonna go back to traditionalism. And I don't know what's special about my group. They know that's just funny when you say it to them. It's like, yeah, right. We're going to go back to traditionalism.
Yeah. No, I know. It's just crazy. Right. Well, what was that one video you showed me?
What was it? Oh God, I can't remember what that was. That was a few days ago.
That was that guy talking about love. He was talking about love again too.
Yeah, it was how we long distance love, and the guys that it was a long distance thing, and he was trying to explain that to this it was like, oh, that is creepy. You ever see with Gemma and those guys, they get a girlfriend across from, he lives in I don't know where he lives, like California, and she lives in Georgia. And he's like, I got a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
So how does that work exactly? But the dopamine start off. That's what your dopamines are raising, and it's making you feel good, even though you don't know it, because you're in anticipation of meeting that person.
Well, he was talking about being people that are available.
Yeah.
Remember he was saying something about people that are available, he's pretty much saying take a risk or something. Didn't he say that? Take a risk and find.
Right, something like that. He was really, and he gave all the the heart wants what the heart wants, and there's love, and Cupid will just hit you, and all those things, not even bothering to breach on the actual way the brain actually works and everything. It's like,
yeah.
And he's like, and that's just it's a big trap they're giving, and was a very popular video on YouTube, and YouTube agrees. Google agrees. It's like, oh, you got all the really smart techs and everything down there at Google, and they agree. Yeah. Really? Do they really agree, or did they just say because they know they'll be fired for social reasons if they say? And we've seen this with Google, the guys getting fired because they they're like, no, this garbage that we pump out is just pure garbage.
Yeah.
Go further, and we get this whole thing in America about misinformation. Oh, misinformation in the news. Why don't they look at misinformation? Really, you guys want to look at misinformation?
Yeah, yeah.
I can bring some misinformation that the news, every news, they just do it every single day, and they make these common mistakes in biology, and it's like, oh, love, they're going to celebrate like Valentine's Day. They're going to celebrate men being drugged by symbiosis. There must be something really. I mean, I think sometimes like us mgtows, we just landed on this planet, and it's like we got to get along with the humans.
Yeah, well, that video, that guy, like even at the end, he goes, "Oh, take the risk," and remember he says it at the end of the video, like find the one that's available, take the plunge.
Yeah. What he was saying was the one that there's going to be all these available ones. Just go and do it. Just take the plunge and get her pregnant, and then you can like
Right.
your life is over. Any dreams that you had, and that's what financial abortion's about with males. mgtows, any dreams you have about becoming a doctor, or maybe an engineer or a lawyer, or just if you want to be a good toolist, whatever that's going to be out the door. And one thing is like the one thing will become all important is her, and you don't want to make her unhappy because they put guys in jail for that.
Yeah. Yep. Don't make the girls unhappy.
Don't make the girls unhappy. That's what they took my videos down for, and they tried to kick me off of YouTube because they said I was making them unhappy, and we don't trust you, Joe, because you're going to make people unhappy by saying truthful things. And I know the truth hurts someone. If someone walked up to you and they had an ass this big, and they're like, "Did his jeans make my ass look big?" It'd be like, "Yes," only because your ass is huge.
Yeah, it's something else, huh? Like, don't make the girls unhappy. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. It's like,
yeah, you got to constantly lie to them and tell them they're the
right.
greatest in the whole world, right? While they're acting silly and not doing what they're supposed to do. I was just talking to somebody came over earlier, and he was been in an 11-year relationship, and he was trying to explain to me. It's like, man, it sucks, and I said, I know, and I didn't give him the whole mgtow spiel, but I was like, and he's like, I know, you just gotta. I was trying to give him halfway decent advice while he was like, I mean, trying to deal with this child that he has now. He's the parent of.
Mm-hmm.
It was just starting to bother him. He's like, she absolutely does nothing around the house, and that's normal. It's like,
Yeah.
Sooner or later, it's like when I used to come home, I used to explain how I used to do my laundry. In the morning, I'd put it in the washer, and I'd take what was in the washer and put it in the dryer. And then when I got home, I'd take what's in the dryer, take out what's in the washer, do that. And that became like a thing that I was just constantly doing. And anytime I walked down to take my showers, or I would just like, okay, because I put a special shower in the basement where I showered because I had grease all over me by the time I was done working and everything. And so it was right next to the laundry. So I just made it sort of a routine. You make it a routine in your life. And then I realized one day that I was doing all the laundry. And then I'd go upstairs and grab a mop as I was just kind of, what's for dinner? I'd mop the floor. And then I was mopping the floor. And everything was changing around me, and there was nothing of mine. And then I'd go out in the living room, watch some TV. So might as well grab the vacuum. And I was doing that. It was like, they'll give you all these responsibilities, but women will talk with these feminists will talk all the time about like, oh, she's a slave to you. No, most of the time you end up, it's just the opposite. You're just projecting, because you're going to end up as a male, you're going to end up doing all those things. Not that I wouldn't do it myself anyways for myself. And that's that's the part that they exclude. If I live here, I have to cook my own dinners. I have to vacuum the floor. I have to do the laundry. I make it as short as possible. And I know it only takes 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops for me to clean a house, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I just pick up, then do the dishes and I'm done. It's not that much of it's not a reason that a homemaker is not a real job. It's just you have to clean up after yourself anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they'll make it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy when you think about how, right, they try to increase their value. Like, oh, being domestic. Oh, what was Roseanne Barr? I'm a domestic goddess.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah. I'm a domestic, what she called herself?
Yeah. Domestic goddess. I'm a domestic goddess.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Barr.
Yeah, you just sit around and like Al Bundy, like probably, you just sit around and eat bonbons all day and pretend like it's like most of the time I come home, dinner's not even made.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Married with Children was the reality. And he says one of the greatest things ever. And he wakes men up a little bit. He says, he says, all masculinity was lost the day the first male said, we're pregnant. Because we're not pregnant. You are.
He said that?
Yeah, Al Bundy said that.
You're right. See, that's the thing. That's my theory with Hollywood. It's so true. It's like they get this guy, make him look like he's a dummy, like Al Bundy, but he really wasn't a dummy. He was saying all these truths.
Right. Yeah. That was he was saying truths there, and it's like everybody's like, that's not true.
No, it is true. Smartest guy in the room. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the smartest guy in the room in that because we're not pregnant. You are, and I didn't make you pregnant, and I didn't put a seed in you. And
he's from Youngstown, Ed O'Neill or whatever his name is.
Oh, is Ed O'Neill from Youngstown? I never really.
Yeah, he's from Youngstown. Ed O'Neill. Yeah, he was a football player at.
Oh, okay.
I want to say some school in Ohio. I think was it Youngstown or maybe Kent State? I don't know, one of those schools.
Yeah, Youngstown has a pretty good football program. There's
a guy from my hometown. He played offensive tackle for Tressel, Jim Tressel.
Jim Tressel's up there now in Youngstown now.
He's at Youngstown. He's president or something. Yeah, where did he go? I'm trying to think. He went to Ohio University.
Did he go to Ohio University? Yeah.
Yeah. Youngstown State. Yeah, he went. He ended up going. He started at Ohio University, played football.
Right, that's an extension of Youngstown State, and Youngstown State is Ohio University. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so he started at Ohio University, then he went to Youngstown State. They got some good football there in Ohio, huh?
Oh yeah, birthplace of football.
Yeah, sure. Ohio, Pennsylvania, those are the good schools on the East Coast for football, and then you get into like, probably DC area. They're really good, and then down in Florida, they're really good, and Texas, they're really good too.
Like Chieftains, and I haven't seen Chieftain in '84 for a long while.
Oh, Chieftain, yeah, how's he doing?
Yeah, he's.
Oh, cool.
Having a great weekend. Yeah, I was having a great weekend. I was just, doing my regular thing.
Yeah. I'm coming to the point where it's like, I'm starting to realize I'm not going to get some opportunities I used to get when I was younger because of age discrimination. So I got to make some adjustments.
Ageism is terrible.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. I'm not going to stomp my feet and get upset about it. I'll just have to make a different game plan. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. Ageism is the general decline in the amount of jobs that we have. So now they've come up with like, okay, we'd rather have the young people working on it. And they should be retiring, man. If you got ageism, then it tells you that you should be retiring earlier. But they won't do that.
Yeah. They want it. I mean, look at today. I mean, like I said, I went out for wings. It was $50 for wings, French fries, and mozzarella sticks. I mean,
it's crazy out there.
That's insane. Yes, I won't be going there for a while. I mean, it's just
corporations and
too much money.
We were arguing about that with food prices. Food prices have pretty much doubled in America, and corporations. That's called what's it called? When. Like in 911, when George Bush said, no, we're not gonna start raising prices because of 911. But the corporations automatically assumed that because we had this crisis and it was gouging, anti-gouging laws. George Bush said there'll be no gouging. And right away, McDonald's started charging him 25 cents after 9/1 for the mayonnaise and ketchup packets. And he's like, no, you're not going to gouge. You're not going to use this. But when Trump was, he's so stupid. Trump was so stupid that he couldn't see that the corporations were just going to start gouging the people, and they did. The food prices are, and the restaurant prices are like, are you can see it in the stock market, how the stock market went up and everything. Why did that happen? Because they just started gouging for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, traditional conservatives have a really hard time seeing that because they'll buy us in bulk back to like, oh, we love Trump. No, Trump was an idiot, and he pretty much ruined. We have double-digit inflation because of him.
And then Biden's another trad cuck.
Yeah, he's another trad cuck too, and he's not gonna. He did away with the. There's millions of people that can't even pay their rent now. And
rent prices have gone way up.
Yeah, rents have gone way up. And my theory is it's not that they can't pay their rent, it's rent itself. But trying to explain logic to these people is like is like you took the sucker from the baby. They're just little babies about it. Little capitalist babies, It's like ooh, we want high prices on rent so we don't have to work, there's classes. There's so much classism in that it almost stinks. You have a certain segment of society that doesn't work because they own the houses because they were really good at stealing the houses.
Yeah, sure.
I was thinking about when Billy Joe sang a song about Downeaster Alexa and the fishermen. And it's like Billy Joe was the actual tourist that made that happen. The fishermen were taxed off the islands, and then they taxed them off the island, and they started tourism, and then now you go and the government gets their cut on that. But then they gave the fishing jobs to the corporations, and you have the fleet fishermen now. But the fishermen that actually used to do it can work for them now and be good slaves. But don't talk about it, or they'll fire you.
Yeah,
our government is so corrupt that
they're just taxing the shit out of everybody. They're
taxing, they call it revenue. How do we get new revenue? Every time they say revenue, it's like it makes me sick. I want to throw up. Like, don't you get enough revenue?
Yeah, that's why there's not a lot of incentive anymore to really.
That's why people aren't filling the jobs. There's
not a lot of incentives. Yeah, they're just taxing so much, and they're just taking so much.
They closed down the supermarket up here at 3:00. They said we have a labor shortage, and people don't want to go to those jobs because it's like, why would I want to go to that job? And the owner of the store said, oh, well, they're just giving out free money now. Why would they come here? Yeah. Why would someone want to come here and do that?
Yeah. Well, it's like California is becoming like a joke. I mean, it's really bad because they just, you have people that come here just for the benefits. Really, they don't even want to work.
The baby mama economy is probably the biggest reason for these things. And the baby mama economy. It's like she can get a good slave, and
sure. That's a good slave. That's what women view. These people don't get it. Like their own mother. I hate to say it, even if she was a good mother. They view their children as slaves, like future slaves, really. Yeah, that's a controversial statement, but that's really kind of true. That's a red pill statement.
Yeah, I was just talking to this young man the other day, and he was telling me his mom. I know his mom. His mom was a crackhead, and he was the typical son of a baby mama. You know who's taking care of her now? After her mental, she's very young still, but the son is now taking care of her. Of course. He goes, oh, I know she was not a great mom. No, she was a horrible mom. I know the things that boy went through, and I talk with him and counsel him a lot.
Sure.
And it's like he's going down that same road too. He wanted to get a girl, and it's like
that's why they want the big families.
Yeah,
That's why these women want the big families. They want, I want my grandkids. Why do you want grandkids? Because they want the security.
they want the security of a family. Yes, it's
Right,
all
security of a family. It's all about raising the family.
yeah,
Women accumulating the resources.
yeah. The family's going to take care of her. It's like that human resources for them. Yeah, it's like
it's crazy, insane.
All roads lead back to mgtow. We can go over the whole subject and work it out from the beginning and show you how the baby mama, the polygamy, and I go back to the world, the Civil War, and we sort of almost had it right. And then we changed it in the 70s, and everybody goes, "What happened in the 70s?" Well, you got rid of polygamy laws, and you made a divorce on no fault divorce. What does that do? You ask yourself, what does that do? You can have baby daddy number 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is polygamy now, and it's okay for women to have it, but men have to be monogamous because you still have these social laws.
Even Schopenhauer said it too. Monogamy is really no one does it. He said nobody can do it.
Yeah,
pretty much. That's what he said. He pretty much said, like, you're talking about a real small percentage of people that can actually do it.
Yeah, and it's forced monogamy on males. We have legally forced monogamy for something that we have nothing to do with. Really, women have children. That's just that their bodies do that. Men's bodies don't do that. And I try to explain it, like what really happens in that process, and then I get all kinds of weird looks, like, "Ooh, stop telling the truth." And if you ask them, and I explain this, am I telling the truth, or am I lying to you? No, the people that are telling you that Cupid shoots you with an arrow in the other heart is lying to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they'll believe that fantasy fiction world, like there's love and you're connected and there's pair bonding.
Yeah.
This magical thing that goes across from you to her brain, and then you become one.
Right. Like
fool.
Like Julia Lewis, she's the only unicorn left. That's why everyone wants her.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want her?
Look at her, freaking beautiful. She dated Brad.
Look at her and Sarah Jessica Parker. Look at that face.
How hot they are. Yeah, look how stunningly beautiful.
You have to say these things, because otherwise they'll ostracize us, and we won't get permission to go on anymore.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. It's lunacy. We're living in really lunacy. We're going backwards. We've gone backwards as a race.
Yeah, I think
we really have.
Maybe from the 50s, yeah, maybe we did go backwards. We went into more absurdity, and Camus, the theater, when he come up with the theater of the absurd, he was like, "This is the way life really is. Take a deep look at it."
Right. Polygamy is natural. It's natural.
Yeah, we can explain these things in our movies and our art, so we can give kids good ideas. But we don't. We make our movies and our arts equally absurd. We make our religions equally absurd.
Right. And then, because people think, well, look at all the technology we have now. It doesn't matter. We've still gone backwards as a race. Like we've increased our slavery capacity to create more slaves.
Yeah.
And people accepting their
right. Yeah, there's people that are in better castes that say, "Oh, this is a great idea because we get more slaves."
Right. Like the corporations are just nasty, bad.
Yeah, the corporations are not nasty anymore. There's nobody watching them. There's no watchdogs. There's no union. There's nobody.
No Jimmy Hoffa's. There's no Jimmy Hoffa's anymore.
We're back to the days of the robber barons.
Right. And he was a really smart guy. Have you ever heard him talk, Jimmy Hoffa?
Yeah, Jimmy Hoffa, yeah.
He was an amazing guy. And he even when he went to jail, he went to jail for some bullshit. And he organized the prisoners or something.
Yeah, he organized
he was such a leader. He was able to organize the prison because all the stupid shit they were doing to people in prison.
Yeah, price for being a bad dad, being a bad father is rape.
Yeah, and so whatever he was such a leader. He got his ego probably got a little bit too big or whatever at the end. But he they're gone. Those people are gone. Like it's all like this Jack Welch. Like they put this Jack Welch up. He like destroyed a lot of jobs in GE. back in the 80s, and they put him up as this great leader, business leader. All he did was cut jobs, pretty much. He didn't do anything special.
Right. Yeah. The states, most of the states now are right to work states, which is just a code word for we don't have to pay you a decent wage, and we don't have to pay you provide you with medical anymore.
Right. That's why I hate to say it. Like, the best jobs are probably going to be state jobs anyway. Now at this point,
Yeah, you can get that from the state if you can be in there on the registry. Now that you got to be in that group, and
right.
Unfortunately, I'm not in that group. Although my aunt was the mayor of Chicago at one point.
Oh wow,
great aunt or something. Jane Byrne. Yeah.
Oh, okay. She related? Did she know Claire?
Claire, yeah. Oh, sure.
Claire was the enforcer.
Claire's the enforcer. The Claires, the group.
When's the last time you saw her, or did you ever talk to her?
I've never talked to her. No, she's a distant relative.
Aunt.
Yeah.
I know. Fuck. I don't know. When I was a little sharper when I was younger. Well, I was blue pill, but of course.
Yeah, if I was a little sharper, I would have took out more government courses and
yeah, that's the way to go. Like, my friend did that. He works for the government. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he got the nomination for like U.S. Assembly or some shit, or I don't know. Like, he had a pretty big nomination, Republican nomination. So he was no joke, and he's just been working. I don't know. I think he does pretty well for himself. Like, he just has a lot of connections in government, but they don't really. He doesn't really. Because I remember telling him, I said, "Man, why don't you do sales? You're a really competitive guy. You're smart." But now I can kind of see why. There's not a lot of accountability. Like, it's almost like you'd rather do politics. There's less accountability, and there's probably more job security and money.
Yeah, I would have hammered down on poli-sci.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting here busting my ass as a salesman. I mean, I won all these awards, and yeah, I made some good money, but I don't have any job security. No, I get treated like garbage.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? Forget it. I might as well just go work for the state, and the hell with it, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, or I mean, if I was younger, I would have probably just done VOTEC or BOCES program and became like a welder or something like that, or a mechanic or whatever. Just something with my hands. I think would have been better.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I go back and redo what I used to do, and I would start.
Even a doctor. Doctor's good too, because you're not really. You pretty much, once you get enough experience, you just have to show up.
Right. I would just specialize in a few things, and that's what all I would do is, I specialize in this, and this is what I do, and I would charge them $170 an hour for me to come in. You can try to figure it out yourself, but
yeah.
I do have a skill.
Yeah, I wish because I had the driving to do it, but I just, I thought back then I believed, if I'm good, if I'm a productive business person in the corporate world, I'm going to just move and I'm going to, but that's not true. It didn't pan out that way. And I got my sand pebbles moment right there, like pretty much this last year.
What the hell went wrong?
yeah, because I just don't get. I don't even get interviews. I mean, once in a while, I used to get interviews all the time and get offers all the time, and now it's like, boy, it's very, very scarce.
Yeah, you're getting up in the age, and value. They know they can get some high pressure salesmen to come in and do your job.
Right.
25, 30, we're fresh out of college, and
right. I mean, but what you do is you work where nobody else wants to work.
Right.
And that's what, for me, it's like inner city teaching. Nobody wants to go because they're a bunch of little, blue pill freaking cornballs. And these guys are, they're just, I use the P word, but that's what they are. Yeah. They're not very soft and effeminate type guys. Are afraid to go and, and do that type of stuff. But like those, so that's my opportunity to jump in and do it. And so I think I'm probably heading in that direction. It looks like, because these sales jobs are just, I'm not getting any respect, and but it's all right. It just is what it is. Yeah,
it's just what it is, and just figure it out, I guess. And going and
exactly.
Yeah,
that's all you can do. That's all you can do.
They'll make a movie out of you if you teach in the inner cities there. Remember all those movies?
Yeah, like Stand
Ooh,
and
the
Deliver.
white inner city school teacher came in, and he had like the little poor kids, which is code word for black kids, and
Yeah, yeah,
like, ooh, he's so brave being in inner city, and they made a movie
yeah,
out of the how many of those movies did you have to see in the 90s?
yeah, yeah.
And
That
then the
Stand and
coach,
Deliver.
the white coach comes into the teach
Black
basketball to these kids.
White Shadow. The White
Yeah,
Shadow.
white shadow or something. I was like, so I was like, no, don't even do that. And they did it. I was like, that's so offensive.
The White Shadow. Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you say. But hey, you know what?
Or
Sometimes,
Hoosiers. Was it Hoosiers? They did that
yeah,
too. It's like, ooh, it's just
yeah. You
like,
got to find. I think it's good for a man to find a job where they get more respect as you get older. I think I see that with teaching. I see that with like doctor. I see that with lawyer. You know what I mean. The older you get, the more because you're not breaking your. Those are white collar jobs. You're not gonna kind of if you're gonna go to school. Those are kind of the think better accounting stuff like that. Like corporation to work for a corporation, you got to be the biggest
yeah, if you
douchebag.
can figure out like tax accounting and the
Yeah,
you just like help the corporations cheat the government, not have to pay no taxes, and
yeah,
just throw it on the little people. Let's just increase the
yeah,
prices of food on the little people. It's
yeah.
like
That's what they
screw
do.
those little people.
They don't care. Yeah, they don't care. They just. I was thinking. I had a thought today about rich people. Like rich people, their only concern in life. Because I was driving through traffic, and I saw a couple homeless people, and
Yeah,
like they could care less about those people. They could care less about humanity and
right.
making the world a better place in their communities. All they care about is trying to figure out how to make more money. That's
Yeah,
their whole. That's their whole existence of life,
right.
pretty
If
much.
your
Most
if
of them.
your summer cottage is a mansion in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Hamptons,
That's
then
all, but that's what's on their mind. Their mind,
yeah,
what's on their mind is not making the world a better place. And making they're not. They're interested. Oh, bless you. But yeah, they're just interested in making more money,
yeah,
getting
it's
richer.
more money, more and more and more. It's like that's
Right.
the paradox, by the way. It's like you ask a rich person what they want, and they said more, and you have to poor people what they want, and you give them hope. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
they
right.
want hope. It's like, yeah,
The aliens must be looking at it like, look at who's this multimillionaire? He needs to make more money. The aliens. That's what they would think.
yeah. There's like Jeff Bezos got like $360 billion. He'll be closing in on a trillion before the end of the decade, and it's
Oh
like
yeah,
he just
crazy.
needs all that. It's just
Yeah,
he's so
and
much better.
his workers are
Yeah,
don't they're jumping off of the fourth story, killing him. That guy in Vegas, like last year, jumped off the
yeah. There's going to be
or
like,
this year. I think it was this year. He jumped off the where
can't
the
wait
where.
to see that. Sooner or later the workers will revolt, and there'll be a workers revolt. But don't say that because they'll come and put me in jail and rape me into submissions. Not saying
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Have a priest visit your house, and you've
Yeah,
sinned.
the priest just comes over to my house and he beats me with the large pole and just rapes me. Like, oh, I'm not going to think that way no more.
Ah man, it's so weird. This world is strange. Is a strange. We live in a strange place, man. It's always been that way, though, hasn't it? Or just because we've kind of matured and understood things. I mean, it's always
Yeah, I
been that
can't
way.
even imagine what it was like before, like back in like when World War II and the barbarians were hurling bombshells at each other, uh, and just killing each other off at a phenomenal rate. It's like, man, how did those people think? They must have been really stupid.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was watching that on TV the other day. I was getting some chicken wings. Matter of fact, at my favorite chicken wing place, I came up. I had to do that hill that I say I hate walking up because it's like at such a grade. And it's like I did the hill, and then I got up. Man, I'm thirsty. I got a pop, and I ordered some chicken wings. And there was on the TV was World War II, and they were just hurling bombs at each other and just killing each other off. And I said,
Yeah,
so 80 years ago we were animals. I
yeah,
don't think
yeah,
one guy was watching Fox News, and I don't think he liked that.
yeah.
Like, they were heroes. And I was like, no, they're animals. They were like hurling bombs at each other and killing each other with swords.
Yeah. Or Claire's pocket knives.
Yeah, they just got Claire, and she just got a knife, and she just stabs somebody to death.
What was that restaurant you saw? The steakhouse? Stabs or slabs? Or
Oh, Stabs. Yeah, there's a steakhouse
stab?
called Stabs. It's Hoka's new place. It's a
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's an upscale steak and shake.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you posted that. Yeah.
It's like, man, the waitress comes up and she got a knife behind her back, and she goes, "Can I take your order?" That's
Yeah.
just like married. It's like, oh, I feel married already. She just stabs you.
Yeah. Stabs. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I can suffer more. Please give me more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm supposed
Well,
to.
it's not.
I'm such a sissy because I don't want to suffer that much. And it's like I'm a soy boy sissy, and
Yeah. Well, I remember. Yes, that's something that. Yeah, silent male suffering is something else.
yeah, silent male suffering. That's what we're going to get to here eventually today. It's like men suffer in silence.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
you just don't want to break the social norms. If you do, you'll be punished. So it's not like they want to suffer. It's like they have to suffer. Because I don't want to be raped.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I was in this. I went to go to this Italian restaurant. I went to go take a left turn, and I don't know. I think there was 3 lanes, but there was no sign that said you couldn't take a left.
Yeah.
And so the guy behind me going back, LA, and they're crazy out here. So that this guy's going batshit crazy behind me, and but I wasn't in a hurry, so I said, "F him, I'm just gonna take my time." Because there was 2 lanes. Yeah, I was in the 2
you were
lanes.
doing the worst law. You were doing the speed limit.
Yeah, I was doing the speed limit, obeying traffic, signs, and there's 2 lanes. But in LA, they got places to do, people to see.
Oh yeah, I'm so important.
God forbid you run everybody over. Who cares? As long as you get on time to your appointment.
Yeah.
Run people over. But anyway, so I did it on purpose because I kind of knew like it was gonna piss them off. so I'm like, I don't really care. I was like, yeah, I'm not in a hurry. So anyway, he goes around like he's supposed to. He says F you. I go, yeah, whatever, F you back. The next thing you know, his policeman pulls over next to me. Sir, mind you, there's no sign that says I can't turn left. I'm just following universal traffic laws, right? Not doing anything wrong. Go, sir, you have to keep going straight. And I just looked at him and I just reminded myself of all the information I know about police officers, that they're pretty much a bunch of dummies, for the most part. Number one. Number two, they got a gun. And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I just kept going straight. But I knew I was not. So they just kind of making up laws as they go along.
Yeah, they just make it up as they go. Make sure that, isn't that what he said in Falling Down? Like, you can get shot in LA for doing the speed limit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not humans. There's a lack of humanity out here, and quite frankly, I came out here because I thought I had a good opportunity, and it's not panning out, and that's okay. It's okay. I took another shot, and now it's like, okay, well, I'm starting to face the reality. I live in the reality. I don't live in fantasy fiction world, and I'm realizing I'm facing age discrimination, and so now I got to make an adjustment again, and whatever is what it is.
Yeah, how much of this
okay
you take? It's like they're trying to figure out how much you're going to take.
Right, how much abuse are you going to take? Exactly. I've just reached my wit's end. I'm like, forget it. So I have to reevaluate everything again, and so I got some time to think it over. That's the beauty of mgtow, is I can just kind of make my move on the fly.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just they're really weird out here. Like, everyone's in a hurry out here. Like, Soothie knows. I think he lives out here, but they're just kind of they're all in a hurry, and
just do that metaphysical suicide and just start believing in Jesus.
Oh yeah, exactly. I could just get married and have 3 kids.
Metaphysical. That's the same idea, isn't it? You just, I'll believe in Jesus, and I'll get married, and I'll do everything you guys want, and then you'll still betray me, but you'll betray me less.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where you have the heart attack when you're like, in your
Yeah,
50s.
it was like my age. So many of my friends it was like they were married. It was just fucking just keeled over.
How old was he?
Oh, a lot of my friends they started at 50. They started falling out at 50.
Is it just because like they're still living, they still think they're in their 20s, and then they're
Yeah,
working like in their 20s?
the frat boy attitudes and like, whoo, we're gonna still party hard and like get the girls and then my other buddy just had a heart attack and
Oh,
he's got a
jeez.
hole in his chest from here to here. He didn't even get the good little hole. He got the whole whole
Wow.
chest crack.
Oh my god.
It's like yeah, you don't listen to
Catches
me.
up to you.
Don't listen to me. I'm just an idiot. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, the stress is just a killer, and the
yeah,
drinking and
stress and man, at a certain age, that's why I started riding a bike. It's like at a certain age, you just keep your heart going good. You ride your bike, do some aerobics, you smile, and the stress leaves. That's my
yeah,
private world of de-stressing
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
I'm just riding around like a little retarded kid, like,
yeah. Well, that's the thing too. I was at the Buffalo Wild Wings. I was just like so happy. It was like nice air conditioning and
yeah.
watching the games, and who cares if $50? I mean, I don't go crazy and spend a lot of money when I go out. But I just felt like I wanted to treat myself, and I just, and I was really nice to the waitress, and she was nice, and
Yeah.
and just taking my time. That's the thing about like big cities. If you can just take your time and just
Oh,
go at your own pace, don't be like everybody else, always in a hurry.
yeah. I had a really
Because
good
they're just
experience
stupid.
in a restaurant this week. We went to it was an Asian restaurant, but it was like a la carte too. It's like you got the menu and you can order. It was all you can eat a la carte. I don't know what they call that
Yeah,
anymore. And it's like you just I want this, I want this, I want this, and all they say is don't over order. And it was like
yeah.
$16.95. And
Oh,
the
that's good for
waitress,
you. Yeah.
absolutely, she was young. She was going to Case Western, which is a great school, and
Oh, yeah.
she
Yeah.
was a perky young Asian girl, and she's going to Case Western, and she was thinking about quitting. I said, "No, don't quit. Just keep." And I, gave her mgtow advice, like just keep going. You can go. And, my sister did that, and it's like just if you don't get it right away, just keep going. But sooner or later,
Right.
you'll be a nurse, and then you'll be an RN, then you're going to be a nurse practitioner. Just keep on going. And
Right. Keep on going, and then right then.
she's from
Yeah.
Beijing. They immigrated, and I don't think she knows what the opportunity she got getting to go to Case Western.
Oh yeah, sure. That's a really good school.
That is a really fine school. It's like most people.
Yeah, and then you go for nursing. That makes sense because you can, there's so many opportunities.
Yeah, I got turned down for Case Western.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, because my GPA was 4.0 wasn't good enough.
When did you apply
Really?
there? Like, recently or like?
No, that was years and years ago. 4.0 wasn't good enough for them.
Jeez, that's crazy. What the hell are they doing? I remember one of the colleges I applied to, they accepted me as a commuter. And I was so offended. It's like a commuter. I ended up graduating from that school, but it's like
Yeah.
a commuter? Like F you, So I didn't go there originally. I ended up going to another school.
Yeah.
And then I went back later, but because I was in Dean's List and whatever, and I wasn't that great. I was 3.5 or something like that, 3.4.
Yeah, you're a good student, but not bad.
Yeah, I didn't to get a 4.0. It would just be the extra work you got to put in. It's not really worth it.
I just regret like if I could have got a 4.1, if I could have just like I just needed that little extra bump. I don't know how to do that. I was like, what did I do?
Yeah.
I go back and I think, what did I did wrong? Which courses didn't I ace? It was like history. I think I just didn't take history seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Social sciences I didn't take seriously.
I remember I got an A in sociology, and then I had to retake it for some reason, some weird reason. And then I was like, I already got an A in this class, so I retook
think
it
that's
again.
how they sort men too. They fail all the men in sociology and social sciences.
Yeah,
Because
I got an A the first one. I got my A. Then I took it again. I got a C. Guy gave me a C. His This guy was a real dick. This professor.
Yeah.
He overheard me saying something like, "Oh, I already took this class and I got an A." Like they're weird. College, like they're just weird. People are weird.
Yeah,
they're weird.
It's hard to pass for a man. They just give you bad grades just because you're a dude, and it's like, I don't know what they bring the curve down or something. And I had experience with that. I failed it. Like I know I did really good. I mean, me and my buddy used to do our homework together, so they accused me of like cheating. It's like, no, we just do our homework together. So of course we're going to get the same things wrong.
Yeah.
And it's not cheating. It's just that we do a team effort to make it go faster. It's like he explains things to me and I explain things to him. And it's like, and then they failed me. It's like, and I know I got an A in that class. And then I had to go to summer school, which taught me a lesson about school. If you're,
yeah.
They didn't rape me. I was happy about that.
Yeah.
I know they wanted to.
Christian rape. I was gonna go. Yeah. Who does that kind of shit? Rape. Like my friend in Vegas, he's got in trouble. Yeah, good luck trying to rape that guy. You might have 2 eyeballs missing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
try to rape him. And I'm not even joking.
Right.
This guy will take your eyeballs out.
You should be able to function with 2 eyes out and missing an ear because I'm gonna bite it off. I'm gonna Mike Tyson all over you.
These guys are like this one. Like my friend's not a sad. Like he can be. Like these guys are the nicest guys you're ever gonna meet. Like you know what I mean? It's like, boy, you try to rape these guys? Like, oh yeah, good luck at that one.
No, they will. They'll try that. And, they get the
good luck.
Yeah, they get them soft
good luck.
boys, and they just rape them into being girls.
Yeah, they try to scare it. That's what the.
It's more about the fear. The Christians like to pump.
Yeah, it's the fear. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all they go by because they can't back it up. They don't back it up with anything.
Yeah. It's more about fear. I just joke about it, but it's all about fear with them, and they propagate that lie, and they make use of it like as a social construct in the Christian religion. Like you're just gonna get raped.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just crazy.
It's like, sure. And, but, that's the big Christian lie. They'll tell you anything. They'll say anything to you. Truth doesn't matter. And just to get you, in line and on their team, because, loyalty is morality.
Well, it's like you're going to hell because you ate that tuna fish sandwich and you didn't wait 2 hours before you jumped in the pool.
I jumped in the pool. What were you thinking? That's a big lie too. You know where that lie was propagated from? Oceans and salt water, with people would eat and salt water would dehydrate them, and then they ate and then they would cramp. And that doesn't happen in fresh water. It doesn't happen in pools. And up north here, everybody started repeating that lie, like, "Oh, you got to wait an hour," and it was the biggest lie.
Then it was 2 hours.
Yeah, now it's 2 hours. Like, no, that happens in ocean water because ocean water it has what in it? Salt. There's reasons. There's chemical reasons why that happened, and ocean currents and stuff like that, and it's like But so they propagated the lie so kids couldn't go in the pool after they ate.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. It's like all the lies. There's so many lies. It's just like it's everywhere. It's everywhere, man.
You just think about our society and start looking at things and looking at where the lies are coming from, and you just watch YouTube for any time during the day. I used to spend about an hour just picking out certain videos that YouTube says a great.
It's like that Joe Rogan. Like people watch Joe Rogan like he's like this intelligent, person, and he's like a total fraud. And it's like, I mean, and then you compare him to like they'll listen to him, but they won't listen to a guy like Schopenhauer or Camus or. It's like,
they won't go to the truthful people, the people that were trying to get to the bottom of of metaphysics and that stuff. It's like,
Right.
no, they won't listen to them people.
Listen to Joe
You don't
Rogan
see
now.
that now with it. There's a lot of great philosophers around now, and I mean, but no one's gonna take the time. I think Sapolsky is one of them too. It's like there's Smith and Sapolsky, and they'll rather listen to a Jordan Peterson that's spreading this traditional idea of marriage and suffering.
Sapolsky, was he? Is he the guy from Stanford?
Yeah, Stanford. Yeah.
What was his first name?
Robert Sapolsky.
Oh, Robert Sapolsky, Sapolsky, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a neuro doctor. Yeah, neuro doctor.
He's a neuroendocrinologist.
Yeah, neuroendocrinologist researcher out there.
Yeah.
Okay, I see now.
He does a lot of. If you take great courses, I do great courses. So it's like you
64,
can you can find a ton of books he does, and there's a couple of guys that are really good, and they'll kind of work you in the right direction on a lot of things. But he does, how the brain reacts to social situations, which they do a couple of good books on personality I like, and they explain personality and why personality is like it is, and how the brain functions, and it's just really great, really good stuff. Most people wouldn't even. They would like, yeah, that's boring. It's like, I get
turn on Joe Rogan. Turn on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, turn on Joe Rogan because he's gonna be. He has that frat boy thing going. It's like they want that. That frat boy high, high impact salesman thing going, and it's like that excitable frat boy thing. I don't know what it is about that makes people happy. I mean, there's a lot of mgtows like that too. We've seen who was the Chris Cantu. It's like Chris Cantu. He was just an excitable, high impact salesman type personality, and not a lot of truth in what he was saying. And
no.
Yeah.
Well, then you saw Howard Dare do the same 100 videos. He did the same 100 videos in a row.
Yeah, there's always
he just reworded them all.
He would just use those hit points and insert. It was like say something and then insert mgtow hit point, and it's like, see, I'm a mgtow. No, it takes much more. He used to drive, SFM. He got the bullshit detector, and he used to drive.
Shut up, Howard. Shut up, Howard.
He would just be, shut up, Howard. Shut up.
I was thinking about SFM today.
He's
a really smart guy, man. He really has his shit together, huh?
Yeah, I was willing to be tolerant of Howard Dare, but SFM was like, no, there should be no tolerance to that because that's big time light,
Well, you remember how freaking crazy I was in the chat and everything, and
I'm
crazy. Like I wouldn't tolerate anything, but
get older, it bothers me. Sure. And if you're gonna say, do mgtow, do it all the way. Give it a chance.
Yeah, do it all the way. Exactly. That's what happens. You get in situations where you feel like you have to compromise, but you really don't have to. You just have to kind of like you can't. You don't want to get into like situations where you're, bringing attention to yourself, peacocking or whatever, or
right.
Like you said, but don't present yourself as the alpha man in the room, stuff like that. You don't want to present yourself as that. It will just naturally come. You don't have to.
Right. Yeah. A lot of them hate me. Where am I wrong? Where am I wrong in what I say? That's what I ask them. Where am I wrong?
Yeah.
And they hate that idea that I'm not. And they call me. What is that? They call me a radical mgtow. It's like, no, I'm not a radical. I'm just saying the truth.
Right.
And they want me to compromise to just slay a few girls and just get out there and woo. Be that frat boy mgtow and
keep trying. You'll find the right one. She's out there.
Yeah, she's out there, and you just keep trying. And by the way, just get Bitcoin and save money, and it's kind of immature.
There's
Of
many
course
fish
you
in the
want to
sea,
do
Joe.
those
There's
things.
many fish in the sea.
Yeah, of course you want to do those things, but you don't want to go out and dating and put yourself at risk and everything like that. Figure out a different way to do it and have a little maturity about it. That's what MGTOW's asking people to grow up, and they don't want to grow up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'll put up with it from young guys up to 28 years old. But at 28 years old, your neurocortex is all formed. You should be able to get this.
Yeah. 28. There's a Tom Waits song, I Don't Want to Grow Up. He's
Yeah.
annoying. I used to listen to him, but then he became I feel like this guy's annoying.
Yeah. I used to like listening to pasties in a G string and
he goes, it has that song, I Don't Want to Grow Up.
Well, yeah, he does.
Work my fingers to but he's got some good lyrics in that song, like work my fingers to the bone, and talks about that.
Yeah, I think my favorite song by him is what was that? Saturday.
I Don't Want to Grow Up by Tom Waits. Go ahead, sir.
Or something restaurant. What's he? He does. I can't remember the name of the song. It's a blues, real bluesy, and it's
yeah. By who sang it?
Yeah, the lyrics. I remember the lyrics. He was talking about a waitress in a restaurant, and
this is Tom.
An invitation to the blues.
This is Tom Waits. I don't want to grow up. But when I'm lying in my bed at night, I don't want to grow up. Nothing ever seems to turn out right. I don't want to grow up. How do you move in a world of fog that's always changing things? Makes me wish that I could be a dog when I see the price that you pay. I don't want to grow up. I don't ever want to grow up, be that way. I don't want to grow up. Okay. Seems like folks turn into things that they never want. The only thing to live for is today. I'm going to put a hole in my TV set. I don't want to grow up. Open up the medicine chest. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to have to shout it out. I don't want to have my hair fall out. I don't want to be filled with doubt. I don't want to be a good Boy Scout. I don't want to have to learn how to count. I don't want to have the biggest amount. I don't want to grow up. It's almost a couple more paragraphs. Well, when I see my parents fight, I don't want to grow up. All they go out and drink. They all go out and drinking all night. I don't want to grow up. I'd rather stay here in my room. Nothing out there but sad and gloom. I don't want to live in an old big tomb on Grand Street. When I see the 5 o'clock news, I don't want to grow up. Comb their hair and shine their shoes. I don't want to grow up. Stay around in my old hometown. I don't want to put no money down. I don't want to get me a big old loan. Work them fingers to the bone. I don't want to float a broom, fall in love and get married, then boom. How the hell did I get here so soon? I don't want to grow up. Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that one thing he talks about, I don't want to work my fingers to the bone.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, you work for this mortgage or whatever.
After your frontal cortex does grow, what you start seeing in life is your impending doom. It's like you're going to die, and that becomes absurd to you.
Yeah, get that big mortgage and
my favorite.
That's what's driving all the housing prices.
Right.
Is these people that it's pretty much these yuppies, right? So it's these people, they got their they're lawyers or doctors. They make their first big paycheck, and we can afford this, honey, and and then they're willing to. It's credit. Yeah, it's credit. It's credit that's running it's extension of credit, right? That's why these housing prices are absolutely absurd.
Yeah, they're just. It's going to get worse unless somebody does something. The proletariat's got to do something about it. That's what happens. You ask, we look at Russian history and everything, and how that conflict's played out and everything, and we could see it just coming in America. It's like, we let the robber barons run the show, and that's the Burgess, and okay, we'll see how this plays out. I won't be around to see it, and I probably got to live during the best parts of America. I did okay, and I made it through. And if I died now, I could possibly say that I had a bad life. It's like, no, I had a pretty good life.
Yeah.
But now, these I mean, it's coming. It's coming. We're headed towards another revolution. We've seen that in this year's elections with the insurrection at the mall,
Oh, what
and
was that one?
the White House insurrection when they went into the White House.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
call it the insurrection at the mall.
I don't know what was going on there. Was that even real? I mean, what are these people doing?
Yeah,
It's
it's just a
yeah,
bunch of
like it's just so
ignorant people.
stupid. Yeah, what are you gonna do? It's like just shut the hell up and just eat your Big Mac and just shut up.
Yeah, it's just a
Have a
bunch of
fruit cup. Remember, I tell people, Joe, have a fruit cup. If you've been out of
yeah.
shape,
Have a
just
pudding.
have a fruit cup.
We should have just delivered a bunch of pudding cups there. It's like you have a pudding
Yeah,
cup. Have a pudding cup.
that's the Bill Hicks line. Like I forget what he was talking about, but he was like, "Have a fruit cup." You know, he's from Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
He passed away as a comedian. He's a pretty funny guy. He's probably he would have been about he died when he was 33, about 20 something 28 years ago. So he would have been about 51 now. So he wasn't really that old. So when he died, but he had that thing about. Actually, let me look him up real quick. So he had this line about something, and he goes, he's born in 61, so he would have been what 50. So he's no more than that 60. Oh wait, hold on, yeah 60. Wow, he would have been 60. So he was older than you, Joe. He was probably a little older than you.
Okay.
But anyway, he had this thing. That line used to be like when you're been out of shape by something, just have a fruit cup. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, you're gonna like where are you gonna revolt? Where are you gonna protest? I mean, it's like you just kind of do it. You know, like I think this is a greatest what we're doing right now. Just talking about the truth on YouTube.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's as good. Right. That's
Yeah,
a
I don't
good.
know if I'm allowed to say
Write
the
a
truth.
book or something.
They've tried taking me down quite a few times for saying the truth. You know, the symbiosis
Yeah.
happens in the bacteria and stuff. They took me down for that, and they even changed the word.
Yeah.
I never said that. It was they said that you said parasitical, and I said no, I didn't call girls parasitical. I said there's a symbiosis, and oh, there you go again. They have no idea what the difference is, and they tried to take me down for that. Idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when idiots start running a corporation, that's what you get, and that's what we have pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to have truth.
Yeah.
Anymore.
So. Yeah.
There's no truth in broadcasting anymore. You don't have to have your statements don't have to run to a logical fact anymore. And our brilliant Supreme Court said that's okay. Everything's subjective. No, everything isn't subjective. You damn nihilists.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? Are you talking about Big Lebowski, the nihilist?
Yeah, the nihilists. Like everything's not subjective. It's like idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no need to get like out of shape or like I was thinking about Camus a lot this week about what he said about the purpose of life is to find out what's going to prevent you from killing yourself. You know.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? The purpose of life, or not the purpose, but the one of the what did he say?
Yeah, you could use purpose in there. I can't remember the exact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like the whole thing is when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna have a cup of coffee or you're gonna kill yourself. You know, it's like,
yeah.
you know, so you got to find that balance where you obviously don't want to self-destruct or be over-consume or all this kind of shit, but you know, you want to be someone who's gets enjoyment out of life too. You don't want, like you said, being a nihilist or looking at everything like being overly pessimistic. And you know, there's a healthy pessimism that's good. I think you can use it.
But you know,
yeah,
about skepticism this week and how stupid it is, and
yeah.
I mean, what happens? And you're supposed to, you know, have a healthy skepticism about things, but what they've taken skepticism and made it into is I'll just deny everything.
Yeah.
And they turn it around to the opposite end of the bar where it's totally wrong too. Over there. It's like, man, it's like that's what I started seeing years ago with the skeptics, and that came around mgtow there for a while, and they wanted to be skeptical about everything. It's like, and they wouldn't listen to the truth. And if you're skeptical about truth, then it doesn't do you no good. And all the truth is who's got the strongest argument. You believe that until a better argument comes up. But I don't know. It's like, but all they want to do is complain about toilet paper and masks now. It's like,
yeah. Well, my take on that is don't make a big deal out of it. Like you ever see these channels pop up like, oh, look what they're doing us now. They're making us wear, like, it's just wear your mask. Who cares? Don't make a big deal out of it. Right. I wear that Gold Cool mask. It's just easier for me to breathe. And like what I do is I put it underneath I put it around my neck.
Okay.
And then you can kind of pull it up.
Yeah, you can pull it up if you want.
And it's just real convenient for me because I don't have to strap it on. And I mean, it is kind of. I know we disagree on this part. I think it is kind of silly, the whole thing. But I'm just gonna blend in. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it because it actually causes more stress to make a big deal out of it.
Right, you're making a big deal out of it. Anti-vaxxers make a big deal out of it. It's just if you don't want to, then hey, just don't get the polio shot too. By the way, just don't do that. That's good advice.
Yeah, I don't get any shot. I haven't got a shot since that's probably me.
It's like, no, you get the polio shot so you don't get polio. Jesus. And it's ridiculous. No, I took both my shots. It didn't do nothing to me. I'm not a retard now. I'm not going to have grow a second head.
Yeah.
And I don't have to wear a mask. The punishment for not getting the vaccine now is you're going to have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing they were complaining about. So there was a hypocrisy in that. If you don't want to have to wear a mask, 99% of the people that are dying now are anti-vaxxers. It's like sooner or later you'll all just be dead. That's irony there.
Yeah.
If they keep it going long enough, you will have if they keep it going long enough, and these kids that are like 35, 40 right now, in 10, 15 years, you're going to be at that age where you might die.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I don't know. I guess I've been fortunate. Most of my life pretty much all my life, except for my minor back thing I had. Like that's starting to go away too.
Yeah.
Like I have good genes, I think, in that regard. Like it's just I just don't get sick often. But I haven't been riding my bike because of my back, which because that's how my back started giving me problems. I was going 40, 50 miles a week on the bike.
Yeah, you got to get a bigger tires and a spring seat and a better shock.
Probably makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think you have a shock, do you? A front shock?
No, I got to probably
road bike. Road bike.
My size, I'm like 270, 6'2", 270. I'm a little big for the.
Right, you can't get a carbon, and your road bike is stiff, and you get a titanium or aluminum. All mine are aluminum, welded aluminum, and it's pretty light. They got that stuff down to the bikes are light, and they hold my weight well, and I just go with 260 tires too.
Yeah. But everyone's got to make a personal decision. That's the thing. Everyone like to just blindly listen to other people. Like you got to listen to your, what's best for you and your own beliefs. And I was listening to that. Like I posted that Nick Saban thing. He's kind of a trad cuck, and that video. But you really
before him. God, he was horrible, wasn't he?
I couldn't listen to him.
That Christian guy, he was like, he was just saying, just do it.
Yeah, and he was making this big. Like the first woman you have sex with. Yeah, that's whatever. I don't know what that is.
He said some really cringy things in there. I like to pick apart that.
Yeah,
It's like he's this.
Yeah,
He was like the cringe
but
man.
Saban said some mgtow stuff in there. Saban had some trad cuck stuff in there. But if you listen to that closely, he has some mgtow stuff in there because he said that one thing. He goes, "Sometimes it's got to be about you." Remember, he said, "Did you catch him say that?"
Yeah, everybody's gonna stumble onto something that seems MGTOW.
Yeah,
it's like,
but I liked it. I think you got to make it about you sometimes, and
right.
For us, we kind of do that almost all
Now,
the time.
we do that. Like that's one of our principles. It's about us. It's about you. It's like forget about the rest of the world. You're doing it for you, and because you've been denied that their whole life. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that video was really good because he's a guy that's had a lot of success and he knows what he wants out of life. That's one of the things I think that's important in life is just to know what you want out of it, and then
right,
setting proper goals and stuff, and
right,
and not having any regret.
Most people should know the male thrives on goals, and
yeah, and the goal is not. It could like you said, it doesn't really matter what you're doing for work or whatever. Just do it to the best of your ability. Set some goals that you want to. Like for me, I always wanted to get my MBA, and now I'm halfway done. I finished 7 classes. I've got 9 more to go. So it's like I'm just chipping away at it, and it's not. Yeah, it will put me in a position to probably get some better jobs later, but that's not really why I did it. I did it because it was a personal goal I had.
Right. Yeah.
And then I listened to retard like Kevin Samuels say, "Oh, an MBA is not. Oh, it's a worthless degree." And like, you know what? F you. That's your opinion. Fine. You're a little life coach, little trad cuck simp. So I really don't care about your opinion, but right. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it for myself, for my own personal goal. I'm not doing it for just to make money.
If you get a BA, that's enough.
Right.
You should know a lot with a BA, and if you get an MBA, that says a lot about you.
I think it's good. I think it's from a good school. It's not from a it's from a well-known school in the Midwest.
You take most of your classes online.
I'm happy with it. Yeah.
You can even, man, I don't know how many seminars I got credits for. It's like, come on. It's like you could go to seminars and go to community college, and then when it comes time, you go to one of the big schools, and the better school,
Yeah.
Except for Case Western, then you'll never get in there.
You need a 4.0. Yeah.
Yeah, you need it like something.
Well, did you think that was age discrimination, or like what was the deal with that? Like what do you think happened? Because you weren't on the registry, or what the hell was going on?
I don't think I was on the registry. I was like a poor Irish kid, and I think it was more about me being poor than how smart I was.
Yeah. But
back then, there was blatant. If you were poor, that was the biggest. In the 80s, if you were poor, it was the biggest criminal offense there was.
Yeah.
But then I did the right thing, and I got married, and then she ruined my chances for going with my real scholarship. I got a scholarship to Baton Rouge, but I was never able to leave and go.
Yeah.
But it was my fault because,
Yeah.
Because I made her unhappy.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's like, it's a crazy thing that happened to you, It's like,
yeah. So just keep plugging away. That's how the advice I would give everybody is you have your whole life to do this. If you're lucky enough to start when you're younger, then by the 30s, by mid 30s, you should, if you just keep plugging at it, college can take 4 to 50 years. Just keep plugging away at it until you get where you're comfortable with yourself, and you can. And I didn't have opportunity like that when I was younger, so I had to keep going into my late 50s. it's just fun. I find taking a course now is just fun. I just,
Oh, I think it's great. I think it's a great
yeah,
idea. In fact, I would
I don't take it
say,
really seriously anymore, and it's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too. Me too. I don't care if I get a. It doesn't have to be a perfect grade. Like when I, I got like 3.4 right now GPA, but like I don't really stress out. Like there's
yeah,
people in the class that they stress out. Like, I reached out to the professor. I had to get an extra point on my this
yeah.
question. I'm like, just let it go. Hey, you're a freaking idiot. It's like,
I'm
give me
just
a
worried
break.
about like what's new and what's a new idea and what where did these
Right.
ideas change? That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for is somebody telling me how to run my life and stuff. It's just like, and that's most of the time in any class, every teacher is going to try to. This is how you do it, and it's like, I don't know if that's how you do it or not. Just teach the course, not social life skills. And but where
Yeah.
you're going to stumble on some truths that may make your mgtow life better. It's like,
Yeah. Did you see Denton? Denton's in the house.
yeah, Dr. James
Trans
Denton.
trans gamer. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have it easy either. He had to do it, and uh,
Who, Denton?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Takes a
think
little time.
unless you got that thing, down, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like you gotta pay for your own. No one's gonna pay for it for you.
Yeah.
That's a big
Well,
scam, is it? Is it getting girls marrying guys to get her to pay off their student loans?
I mean, I don't know what these guys are doing. These
That's the old telephone scam where you buy your girlfriend a telephone and that's got the 24-month contract and you get stuck with it after she leaves.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the student loan thing. If you can get the guy to take that loan over, then he's stuck with it after you leave.
Yeah. What a bunch of losers, huh? If like
What a bunch of idiots.
what a
I've
bunch of
seen guys co-sign on cars for their girlfriend. It's like, what
yeah,
are you
yeah.
thinking? Because she's just going to leave. She's going to be driving around in a car and you're going to be making payments.
Right, right. Well, you
Idiot.
would just yeah. Well,
God,
that's
man.
probably unsecured debt, so you could probably get off of it.
Yeah, you just stop making payments and then she gets it, but it looks horrible on your credit.
Right,
Yeah. I mean, how do you
right.
explain that? Like, I took on this loan for my girlfriend. She's out driving around in a car. You look for like an idiot. At that point, you probably start realizing the mistake you made. And it's like, but men do that all the time. I see it all the time. I call it the phone scam. It's like every high school girl gets her boyfriend to buy a 24-month contract on a new phone so he can call her and talk to her.
Yeah, yeah,
It's stupid. The kids do that. At a certain point, men are supposed to grow up. I know our frontal cortexes don't develop till we're up 26 years old or something, but we keep maturing after that. But some guys, I'm just not sure about.
yeah, yeah.
Simps, I'm not sure about the Simps. They just keep that frat boy attitude. I look around Maytown and see those frat boy attitude guys. They just keep that till like late in their 40s, and then they buy a
Yeah,
Corvette. It's like,
yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. Yeah, they don't. I don't know what they're thinking.
yeah, it's like wow, man.
They
No,
want to be like Richard Branson. Nah, I'll never forget. Benson said something like that. Like, I want to be like Richard Branson. But whatever. We'll forgive Benson. He's
yeah,
okay.
Richard. Hey, if I had millions of dollars, I wish Richard Branson would throw some money at MGTOW. It's like he's probably the only one that didn't get. Did he get hit yet by marriage?
I don't know. I don't know.
I know Bezos did, and who else is the other billionaire? The guy from Facebook did, and he got hit. Uh, Dr. Dre got hit.
Oh yeah, 3,000, 100,000 a month.
300,000, yeah. Yeah, Branson, was he married? I don't know if he ever got married or it's just like, I don't know if he got hit by like that and someone took half his money. Who else got hit? Probably a lot of them we don't even know about that never make the news.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming up on 2 hours now, and we're slowing down a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's 2 hours and right. 3, 2, 1, boom, 2 hours.
Oh, it's
And
coming up now. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna get going. It's midnight, after midnight for me, and
Yeah.
uh, got anything you want to close her up with?
I mean, I would just say you always like just empower yourself. I always talk about empowering yourself.
Yeah,
I think that's a real important message. And I mean, you're gonna have you're gonna have situations come up that aren't always you know most fun or whatever. Things are like the saving says, things aren't always gonna go your way. But don't sometimes you do have to make it all about you. I think is really good.
yeah,
Sometimes you got to think it through, make it all about you, and if there's some people that aren't going to be happy with the decisions you make because they want utility out of you, pretty much.
yeah,
So, but who cares about them? That means that they're not your friends anyway. They don't care about you anyway. So, when you have that attitude, it is about me, and that's not being selfish. That's just being smart, and I think empowering yourself, those two kind of go hand in hand, and you can take the bull by the horns and control your life and do the things you want to do. You're not checking in with Claire for approval.
yeah.
So yeah, I would just close with that, just
Okay,
for men to empower themselves. Yeah.
yeah. Get some mgtow knowledge and sit down on the mgtow bench and just look at the rest of the world like you're an alien visitor, and you'll start seeing the absurdity in it, and you can just get some popcorn and laugh because it's going to be really funny. And I want to thank everybody for coming around, James and Jim and all the guys, Trans and Claire and
J.K. Soothie,
A Chieftain,
Eric,
Briscoe Way, and
Eric, yeah,
Eric.
Hank. Did you say Hank?
Yeah, Hank. Hank, did Hank come around today? I didn't see
Yeah,
him.
Hank. Yeah, Hank came around.
Okay. Yeah, Hank and all the guys that come around, and
Cowboy. Oh, Cowboy's just walked in.
yeah, make that cowboy haters. Well, cheers from Chicago. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we're
Forrest.
just closing it up now, and you just all you can do is sit back on the MGTOW bench and just watch the absurdity happen in front of you. But at least you know about it, and that's where you got pocket aces. You know what trouble it can cause you if you go down that traditional conservative, uh, you know, religious marriage thing, and you know all the answers, and just make it about yourself, like you say, and try to enjoy life. That's all you can do because man, this thing is 100% pure chaos and absurdity. uh, but thanks a lot for everybody coming around. Thanks a lot, most of all, just thanks a lot for being MGTOWs. Without you, we wouldn't have this thing a safe place to go. So with that, I'll just say it. Thanks for being a MGTOW. MGTOW.